Okay, so one thing that I've actually noticed a lot, and I didn't even know it existed, right? And again, looking at different trends, is birth flowers, right? I did not know these exist. So as a typical, and I'm going to kind of get to exactly why I'm looking at this and why I thought this was very, very interesting. But I had no idea that depending on when you're actually born, let's see if we can pull up an image here. Depending on when you're actually born, there's a flower that goes with that. So let me, I've just clicked on that one there. All right, so that's April. It's probably not the best image. Let's see if we can get a image. It's this one here, probably. All right, so this one here is probably, again, not the greatest image, but we'll see. So you have a January flower there. You have February, March, April, May, June, July. And one of the things is, and I was mentioning before, is if you're on something like Instagram, you start to notice certain things that people are actually typing in and things that are actually trending. Now, birth flowers is one that seems to be trending a lot. Now, again, I did not know they exist. Did anyone actually know that these exist in terms of birth flowers? Out of curiosity, does anyone actually know? So what's mine? Mine's a rose. Well, there you go. All right, awesome. So one of the reasons why I actually mentioned them is, again, when it comes to selecting products, right? Or if you currently already have a brand. So, and then I started actually looking into this a little bit more and realized they're actually very popular. But yet I haven't really seen many brands incorporate this within their actual products or maybe within their website, right? So if you have, I mean, even if you had a coffee mug, if you had what, 4, 8, 12 coffee mugs, right? And you had each coffee mug had exactly that, the picture and the month that you're born. I think they'll do really, really well, right? It could even be something that you could give away as an actual freebie, right, to your customers. So your customers come to your website and they purchase one of your products, and then as a gift, so if they purchase over, let's say, $50, then they can choose one of these mugs, right? And not only that, but it actually gets you information now about your customers also, right? So it's basically letting you know, okay, well, the majority of customers are born in June and July. That's great. But then you know when their birthday's coming up, and then maybe you could actually send them a special coupon, right? We know your birthday's coming up in June. Here's a 50% off or whatever it is for the. So there are certain things that you can do with this, but I just thought it was absolutely fascinating that it's actually so popular. And if we look at the search volume for birth flowers, so if I go to all, so this is in Australia specifically in terms of the volume that I'm actually looking up. Now I use a tool, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I use a tool called Keywords Everywhere. To around about $20 for the year, and I get 100,000 credits, right? So that's why I see all these keyword search volumes. So 6,600 searches a month. So that's what it says here, right? So birth flowers. This is in Australia alone. 6,600 searches a month just for that particular keyword, right? So obviously that has a lot of interest in Australia, but it also actually has a lot of interest in the US also. So if I go to keywords everywhere again, all right, so let's go change that to United States, and let's see what it comes up now. So birth flowers in the United States, 49,500 searches a month. And if we look at the actual trend here, right there on the bottom, it's actually increasing, right? The search volume is actually increasing. So from around about 2020, it's just basically exploding, right? In terms of this actual birth flowers. And then if we go down here, we got some related keywords, like birth month stones gets 90,500 searches. Now, one thing we used to do back in the days when we used to do affiliate marketing is we used to actually have a look at and see what's the actual traffic. So if this has got a lot of traffic, which is 90,500 searches, but we can see the cost per click if you do advertising campaign is only 8 cents, right? So it's got a lot of traffic, but very, very low cost per click. So basically telling you it's got very, very low competition, right? Where if we look at something like here, the hawthorn flower, and I know I'm kind of just going to and fro here a little bit, but if we look at the hawthorn flower, we can see it's only got 12,100 searches, but the cost per click is $1.29, right? It tells you that the competition is actually quite high, right? Because a lot of people are actually competing for that keyword or bidding high for that keyword. So it's just an interesting thing to look at. But going back to the actual flower itself and looking at things like the birth month stones, I mean, look at this December birth flower. Just the December birth flower gets 74,000 searches a month, right? So again, it tells me that there's an opportunity here somewhere, right? Whether or not you decide to make a whole brand around birth month flowers and you add the actual flower and the date on certain products, or whether you try it through print on demand. I think Tracy spoke about that a couple of weeks ago. So you could possibly do this on a print on demand on a certain product. I'm not sure exactly what it is, or whether or not you actually have a brand, have a business online, and you want to do as a free, gift for your actual customers that go onto there and purchase a certain amount of money, level or quota, and then they actually get either maybe just a card, right, with the actual the birth month on there and the flower, whether or not they receive a mug or something like that, and then you can deliver it. So yeah, I just thought it was very, very interesting thing to look at. And a lot of the times we tend to get fixated and stuck on looking at a specific product that's being sold on Amazon and we're looking for that particular product. But you can actually think of other creative ways of doing things, right? And I think this is a very, very good one.